All right, we back. I was looking for records to do reactions today. By the way, hit that like, hit that share, let everybody know you in here. It don't cost you no paper, even if you was a mother hater. Let's push this into the algorithm. Yeah, I was looking for records to do reactions to today. Didn't really find any that I was really interested in. If you guys have records that you want me to react to, send it to my expert opinion podcast at gmail.com. If you guys want to sponsor the show or have your products in these talks or these reactions that I'm doing, hit my expert opinion podcast at gmail.com. Now, Dave Chappelle has called out DJ Khaled for being silent amidst the genocide and atrocities going on in Palestine. Now, this Israel Palestine thing, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm pro peace. I don't feel like people should die over the decisions that their government makes if they if they're not co-signing them, if they're not part of the decision making. I don't think that that's fair, and I feel like a lot of things that happen in the world, it's really not everyone making that decision. It's a couple of people, and when we receive it, we tend to pick sides and demonize one side. I think that human life is valuable, and if there's a situation where too much blood is being spilt, it needs to stop. And I think as human beings, all of us should be a voice in, when it comes to matters like that. Now, do I get on here and talk about every police shooting for African Americans? No, I don't. I don't. Does it hurt me? Yes, it does. When I see it on my timeline, when I read about it, people would argue that there's been a genocide going on in America for about 500 years now. And though I may not talk about every incident that goes on, I do find it necessary to, just do things to do my part. So if I'm in a hood and I see the cops harassing some young boys, some YNs, whatever, some adults, whatever it is, I tend to stop in my tracks anytime I see any type of police interaction with someone of color, and occasionally with people that are of another race. And that may be due to my own experiences. I have been assaulted by like 9 officers before, thinking that I knew my rights. Tossed into the back of a cage and whisked away with the thought in my mind, what did I do? What law did I break? So injustice for me is just it's whack. It's something that if I had the power to stop it, I would stop it. You know what I mean? Like I would really, like, if let's say tomorrow God gave me Superman powers, I would probably be in front of every government stopping any type of injustice, or oppression. But since that's not the case, I do my part. I support where I can, right? Now with DJ Khaled and Dave Chappelle, this is a tough one because as far as call outs go, Dave Chappelle has all rights. This is a man who's shown us that when he stands for something, he's willing to walk away from whatever, like 50 plus $million. $50 plus $million. Dave Chappelle took a stand, and despite all the headlines and all negative press that he got, he walked away from something because he believed in something. And that's important. That makes him a very powerful figure. So when he talks about stuff like this, like, you gotta feel him, because in his mind, there is the yes, you can, right? Now, for all of us, do we all feel like that? I don't think so. I think a lot of people would not support causes if they felt like they would lose their jobs, if they felt like they wouldn't be able to feed their families, if they felt like they would get arrested or punished in any way. A lot of people wouldn't be tweeting and posting, and they wouldn't be doing that, because for some people, family comes first. Now, is this the case with DJ Khaled? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I would love to sit across from Khaled and just have a conversation off camera because I'm curious to this particular situation that he's in because you look at a man that you know has been accepted into hip hop. He's a cultural icon as far as like the collaborations, the music that's come out, his slogans. Like, there's not many places you can go and say we the best, and people don't know who you're talking about. You know what I mean? But when it comes to your race or your nationality, and knowing that people are dying, people are being oppressed, people there could be family members. I believe I saw a clip where even his own cousin was saying that he doesn't speak to Khaled anymore because of him not using his voice to speak up. And in my opinion, I'm wondering, like, what exactly are people looking for from DJ Khaled? What's supposed to happen when if DJ Khaled spoke up tomorrow? What is supposed to happen? Like, is it just some societal requirement that we all have to speak up at the same time? If you don't speak up, then we shun you, or we take that as some sort of acceptance of oppression or injustice. I don't think that's always the case. I don't think that's always the case. Just from my perspective, sometimes silence isn't a cosign. It's not a cosign. And I do believe that in this world, especially when, you know, if you become too much of a voice, it can be dangerous for you. I feel like a lot of times you do have to weigh your options. Now, am I saying it's okay? I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay for anybody to stay silent because, you know, the tables could turn at any time. The injustice that you stay silent about that's being inflicted on somebody else could one day be the injustice that's being inflicted on you. And don't be crying at that time saying, why won't anybody else speak up for us? Just be a human being, right? But for DJ Khaled, this isn't like, you know, a hip hop civil war where, someone that he claimed to be very close to, someone who has helped him throughout his career, make millions of dollars, be so successful, that he stays silent while pretty much pretty much he was getting jumped, you know what I mean? And by other people that he's also close to. This isn't like that. This is like, you are Palestinian. We know this about you. And you're not talking when we see so many other people talking. What is the risk? Is it like, is it that you're afraid? Is it the companies that you're in bed with? Do you fear repercussion? Or are you just so like mended with your brand that you just don't want to address anything that can be perceived as negativity? Now, here's the problem with that stance. For a man that talks so much about faith, for a man who will scream, God did this for us, and da da da, you gotta wonder. You have to wonder, how much faith do you have? How much faith do you have? If there's a possibility that you're worried about the consequences of you speaking up about injustice, how much faith do you actually have? Now, if you're staying silent because You have a family, and you have to protect them. Again, the injustice that's put on other people could one day be flipped on you, and then what? That's why I think it's important for everyone to speak up whenever we see injustice. But I'm not Khaled, and I'm not saying this silence is a cosign, but it does raise eyebrows. What would you risk everything for? What would you risk everything for? Leave it in the comments. Peace.